For over 50 years, we have been shouting into the cosmos. We have beamed our music, our mathematics, and our biology toward distant stars. These broadcasts are now traveling through interstellar space, silent ambassadors to the unknown. But in this vast cosmic ocean, there is a terrifying question we have only just begun to ask. What if something is listening? This is not a passive search. The archive of our attempts is both ambitious and profoundly naive. It began not with a conversation, but with a monologue. A 3-minute broadcast, fired from the mountains of Puerto Rico. The Arecibo message. On November 16, 1974, humanity sent its first deliberate, high-powered message to the stars. The target? Messier 13, a globular star cluster over 25,000 light-years away. The message itself was a simple pictogram, 1,679 bits of binary code. It illustrated our DNA, our solar system, and a crude stick figure of a human. It was a symbolic gesture, a demonstration of the power of our new technology, launched by the Arecibo radio telescope. A digital postcard that will not even arrive for millennia. It was a shout, designed only to prove that we could shout. But 3 years later, we sent something far more personal. We sent a piece of our soul. The Voyager Golden Record. In 1977, 2 spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, were launched on a grand tour of the outer planets. Affixed to the side of each was a 12-inch gold-plated copper disc. This was not a broadcast, but a time capsule. A physical object hurled into the void, destined to drift forever. These records contain the sounds of our planet: wind, rain, whale song, and the heartbeat of a human in love. They carry 115 images depicting our science, our cultures, and our bodies. They hold greetings in 55 different languages, ancient and modern. And they carry our music, from Bach to Chuck Berry. The committee, led by Carl Sagan, curated a portrait of Earth. But a portrait is not the same as the subject. It is an idealized, edited version of who we wish we were. Voyager 1 is now the most distant human-made object, having entered interstellar space in 2012. It is a ghost ship, carrying a phantom echo of a world it will never see again. These 2 projects represent the first file in our case. They are the inciting incidents. One, a powerful, fleeting digital scream. The other, a tangible, eternal whisper. We sent them before we truly understood the scale of the silence, or the potential consequences of breaking it. The data was sent, the file was opened. The silence is absolute. Our signals have traveled for half a century. They have washed over dozens of nearby stars and their unseen planets. The golden record continues its lonely voyage, a relic of a species that may be long gone by the time it is found. And in all that time, from all that sky, the universe has offered only a deafening, perfect void. This anomaly is the central mystery of our time. We call it the Fermi Paradox, a universe that should be teeming with life according to all our calculations, yet appears utterly terrifyingly empty. Where is everybody? This question is the crucible from which our modern myths are forged. The Great Silence is not just an absence, it is a presence. It is a dark, cosmic mirror, and in it, we see only our own reflections. Our deepest hopes and our most primal fears. From this void, two legends emerge. They are the two opposing supernatural hypotheses we have created to explain the silence. They define our relationship with the cosmos. The first is the utopian dream. This is the legend of the benevolent elder. It is the belief in a wise, ancient galactic civilization that awaits us, ready to solve our problems and welcome us into the fold. In this myth, our messages, the Arecibo pictogram, the sound of Bach on the golden record, are a plea for guidance. They are the hopeful prayer of a younger species, reaching out to be saved from its own destructive impulses. We imagine beings of pure intellect, who have transcended war, scarcity, and biology itself. We look at the silence and interpret it as patience. They are waiting, perhaps, for us to mature before they make contact. This is the dream that fueled Sagan. The belief that first contact will be our salvation. The dread of the unknown. This second legend is far darker, and it whispers a terrible warning. It suggests the silence is not empty, but cautious. That the cosmos is not a nursery, but a dark forest. In this theory, every civilization is a hunter, hiding in the shadows, listening, and every other civilization is an existential threat. The only survival strategy is to remain absolutely silent, and to preemptively eliminate any who are foolish enough to reveal their location. The silence, then, is the sound of millions of civilizations holding their collective breath. Suddenly, our hopeful broadcasts are reframed. They look less like a greeting and more like a catastrophic, lethal mistake. The Arecibo message was not just symbolic, it was potentially the single most dangerous act in all of human history. We sent a map of our solar system, our chemistry, our form. We shouted our location into a dark forest we do not understand. These are the two legends that now haunt our search. Are we orphans, awaiting adoption? Or are we prey, awaiting a predator? The archive remains open. The case file is empty. And the void just listens. This is not folklore. This is the central unresolved conflict in modern astrophysics. It is a schism that divides the scientific community, pitting titans of physics against each other. The archive files this under the METI debate. Messaging to extraterrestrial intelligence. It is a formal academic war, fought in research papers and at silent symposiums, over one single civilization-ending question. Should we shout or should we listen? On one side, we have the traditionalists. This is the camp of SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. For decades, their philosophy, established by pioneers like Frank Drake, was simple. Listen, only listen. They argue that broadcasting from a young, volatile, and vulnerable civilization is an act of profound and unnecessary recklessness. This view was championed by prominent physicists, including the late Stephen Hawking. He famously compared a potential first contact to the arrival of Columbus in the Americas, an event that, as he dryly noted, didn't turn out so well for the Native Americans. This is the dark forest hypothesis, not as a myth, but as a formal risk assessment based on the only data point we have, our own species' bloody history. The argument is chillingly logical. If the forest is dark and you are small, do not be the first to light a fire. The silence, they argue, is a survival strategy. A strategy our species, in its arrogance, has chosen to ignore. But a new faction has emerged. They are the proponents of active METI. Scientists like Douglas Vakoch, president of METI International, reject this philosophy of fear. They argue that the dark forest theory is a paranoid and ultimately fatalistic fallacy. They believe that any civilization advanced enough to cross the interstellar void would also, by necessity, be advanced enough to have outgrown its self-destructive predatory impulses. Why would they waste cosmic-scale energy to destroy a species as primitive as ours? They argue that to hide is to guarantee our own extinction, trapping us on a single vulnerable planet until we are inevitably wiped out by a natural catastrophe. This is the Utopian hypothesis, reframed as a logical imperative. Their argument is one of altruism. Perhaps, they suggest, other civilizations are hiding for the same paranoid reasons we are. Someone must be brave enough to break the galactic silence. Someone must be the first to say, "We are here, we are peaceful." But there is a third fatal possibility. One that the archive finds most chilling. The debate may already be over. It may have ended before it even began. Because we have been shouting accidentally for almost a century. Every radio broadcast, every television signal, every high-powered military radar, all of it has been leaking into the void. This is our accidental transmission sphere. Unlike the focused, deliberate beam of Arecibo, this is an expanding bubble of noise. It carries our wars, our commercials, our reality television. It is an unfiltered, chaotic, and often violent portrait of our species. The signals are weak, degrading over distance into static. But for any civilization with a sensitive enough ear, the fire is already lit. We have already revealed our position. We have already shown our capacity for chaos. We have already made our introduction. This, then, is the true link in our investigation. The question is not if we should broadcast, but how we should manage the broadcasts we are already making. The Arecibo message and the golden record were not the beginning of a conversation, but a desperate attempt to add a polite, curated postscript to the noise we've been making all along. We are analyzing a footprint we didn't even know we were leaving. And the silence from the void just continues. In the end, the archive reveals a profound and uncomfortable truth. All these messages, Arecibo, Voyager, even our accidental, chaotic noise, were never truly intended for them. They are a cosmic mirror, reflecting not what an alien might be, but precisely what we are, a species defined by a profound hope and a profound, primal fear. We are caught between a desperate desire to be found and an ancient terror of being seen. This is the work of the archive, to decode the warnings hidden in our myths and the data filed away in the great cosmic silence. Our investigation continues. But we leave you with this case file. If you had to choose one single sound, one image, to represent all of humanity, what would you send as our final, lasting ambassador to the void? Join the discussion below.